our employers and members of this scheme, mark my words, our employers, representatives from the National Treasury and regulatory bodies, my fellow trustees, our management and the staff, good afternoon. It is an honor to address you at this 4th annual general meeting of the Public Service Superannuation Fund, PSSF, and to present the chairman's statement for the year that ended 30th June 2025. Today, we reflect on our fund's financial progress, but also on our journey of institution building, service to our members, and the shared purpose that defines this scheme. 4 years ago, we began as a small unit hosted within the National Treasury, supported by a handful of seconded staff. Today, we stand here as a fully fledged institution with our own home, a strengthened governance structure, operational systems that meet international pension standard, and a dedicated team that serves our members with commitment and professionalism. Our steps are growing steadier every year. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to express my deepest appreciation to the National Treasury for consistent policy stewardship and timely remittance of contributions. Pigia makofi Treasury. To this effect, I am pleased to report that as of today, there are no outstanding remittances from the National Treasury. It is through this support, policy direction, and cooperation that we have been able to realize the growth, stability, and confidence that the fund enjoys today. We also thank all employers across the public service for ensuring that the members' contributions are up to date. This has allowed member savings to grow consistently and enable us to focus on prudent investment and long-term value creation. To our Board of Trustees, thank you for your strategic guidance. Your oversight has ensured disciplined decision-making, strong governance standards, and a steady institutional trajectory that continue to inspire confidence among our members and stakeholders. Thank you, Board of Trustees. To our staff, thank you for your dedication, empathy, and professionalism. Your daily commitment to serving members with clarity, patience, and efficiency is the engine that keeps this institution trusted, accessible, and responsive. To our service providers, we value your partnership and the critical role you play in ensuring service continuity. And lastly, to our members, thank you for your trust. You are the reason this institution exists. Your expectations challenge us to do better every day. And believe you me, when time comes, you will not wait for 3 years to get your pension. Neither will you be told the file is lost because you are fully automated. Anytime now, you can even check and know how much your savings are. Fund performance. This year, the year under review witnessed exceptional growth. The fund value grew from 142 billion in 2024 to 242 billion in the year 2025, that is as at 30th June, a remarkable 70.4% increase. The substantial increase in fund value was attributed to both contributions received and high investment returns earned during the period. Our dear members, the fund investment income increased from Kenya shillings 14.054 billion to Kenya shillings 25.369 billion, representing 80.5% growth, supported by prudent diversification into government securities, equities, and offshore markets. Monthly contribution now stands at 4.2 billion due to the growing membership and improved compliance. These results places PSSF among the fastest growing pension schemes and affirms the strength of the contributory pension reform as a key pillar to Kenya's retirement security framework. Interest declaration. In line with our mandate to protect and grow member savings and based on the performance of the funds, I am pleased to announce that the Board of Trustees has declared an annualized net interest rate of 17.68% on members' balances for the year that ended 30th June 2025. The interest has been credited to your accounts and will be visible through our members' platforms. The fund maintained interest declaration policy during the year, which ensures that the fund maintains a zero reserve and therefore members exiting the fund during the year obtain a prorated rate of return at the point of exit. On governance, over the year, the board undertook training, adopted a revised governance charter, and strengthened oversight through quarterly board and committee engagements. We remained fully compliant with PSSS Act, the Retirement Benefits Authorities Act, and regulations and international financial reporting standards. This ensures PSSF grows on a foundation of integrity, accountability, and transparency. We have also invested ahead of growth, building systems, strengthening risk controls, and enhancing digital service platforms to ensure we are ready for the internal administration. Maybe to clarify that, up to this coming Sunday, our administration was carried out by CPF, another organization that was contracted at the beginning when we didn't have capacity. Now we are fully fledged internal administration from 1st of December. We have been running our own parallel data and we are ready so that when you retire, we don't tell you, go to that organization in the next building to look for your savings. So rest assured, everything is under control. Looking ahead, as we move into the next phase of growth, our focus is clear. We are committed to operational excellence. We are committed to responsible and sustainable investment. We are committed to digital transformation so members can access their information seamlessly, anytime and anywhere in the world, not only in the Republic. Our strategic plan 2023-2027 continues to guide our future direction, focusing on scale, service efficiency, investment performance, and long-term sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear members, members of Board of Trustees and our providers, in just 5 years, we have built the foundations of a pensions fund that will serve generations to come. The progress we celebrate today is shared progress, built through partnership, commitment, and common purpose. Let us continue walking this journey together. Trustees, government, employers, staff, partners, and our esteemed members. Thank you for your confidence and for your partnership. Together, we are securing a dignified retirement for every public servant. Thank you.
And now to confirm the minutes of the AGM held on 11th December 2024. CEO Dr. Jonah Ayabe.
Thank you very much, Chairman, for that clarity on your report. Members, you will have an opportunity to seek clarification or ask questions as we come to the end later in the agenda of today. The next agenda, Chairman, is on confirmation of the minutes held on 11 December 2024. And I would want to table the minutes. We circulated the minutes, Chairman, and therefore we'll just want the members, if there are any clarification, any typos from that minute, you will let us know. So I'll take you page by page, and thereafter, with your permission, Chairman, I will invite for confirmation of the minutes. The meeting was held on the third annual general meeting was held on 11 December 2024 at Kenyatta International Convention Center, Nairobi. The trustees attended the meeting, and various members drawn from various sponsors, Chairman. And the list as indicated. At the meeting, we heard the remarks from the chief guest, the remarks by the Board of Trustees, Chairman's report, and that has been captured on page 2 of the report. The other agenda, or minute number 4, was about the remarks by the then chief guest, the CS of Public Service and Human Capital Development. That was, we was invited as one of the chief guests, and he made some remarks. We captured that. And then the remarks by the chief guest, who the chief guest then was the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the National Treasury, Honorable Mbadi. We have captured the critical comments. I think of importance is to note that it was at that point where there were pronouncement of establishment of a committee of experts to work with government, and we have captured that, Chairman. Minute number 6 was about reading the notice. Minute number 7 is about confirmation of minutes. Minute number 8 was about presentation of audited accounts for the scheme for the financial year ended 30th June 2024. Minute number 9 was about the presentation of financial statements and investments report done by our fund manager. We also had minute number 12, which were the remarks from the regulator. And minute number 13 was also about the remuneration of the Board of Trustees. And then minute number 14 was about questions and answers. And finally, we had vote of thanks. Members, these were the minutes of our annual general meeting held last year on the 11th. I would want to invite Chairman for record and confirmation, and these minutes are actually projected. We would want to invite a proposer and a seconder so that it gives the mandate, the secretary of the board, that's myself, and the chairman to sign the minutes. May I have a proposer for these minutes? Please pick the phone and the mic, and mention your name. Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies
and confirm that you are a member of the scheme, of course.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kasmir Imbosa. I am a member of the scheme. I come from the Office of the Attorney General.
Thank you very much. May I invite a seconder, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. Again, you tell us your name and a confirmation that you are a member of this pensions fund.
My name is Swale Nyaume from the National Youth Service Kenya. I'm a member of the scheme and I second.
Thank you very much. With that, Chairman, I think that gives us the powers to sign the minutes, which the chairman will be endorsing, and myself. And it paves way to the next agenda of today, which will be a very straightforward one, which is the presentation of the funds or the scheme's audited financial statements and the audit report therein for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. So we now go to the business of what happened after 30th June 2025. And to take us through on this, we will have, of course, the auditor to come and tell us the opinion, which I'll be glad to invite him to come over. And for the audited accounts, which has been circulated and hard copies have been shared, you will also be able to follow through as they don't make the presentation. So I will invite Obed Mbufi together with the auditor to come and spend some few minutes, show us the net movement of assets, and also we'll be very happy to hear the opinion of the auditor. Mbufi, are you in the room? Together with the auditor? Yes. So take over. I think it will be good that to note that we were doing these accounts together with the CPF, who are our administrators. So we will get an highlight, and please, it's just a highlight of the summary of the net movement of assets, and then we'll invite the auditor to give the opinion. Over to you.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you, Chairman. I want to stand on the established protocols. Good afternoon, members. So my name is CPA Joshua Saidimu Moilo. I'm the Group Head of Finance for CPF, and I'm here on behalf of our CEO, Dr. Jose Akili, and Director Rono, and supported here by Zipporah, just to give you highlights of the financial statements that will be confirmed by the auditor through the opinion. So I will take you just a highlights on the three key statements. The first statement is a statement of changes in net assets available for benefits, which explains the source of funds that we got in the year ended. And for that year, we received contributions of 142. We closed the fund value at 242 billion shillings, which was generated from contributions that we received of 52 billion shillings. We also got investment income of 48 billion shillings, and that gave us an increase of the fund from 142 billion shillings to 242.7 billion shillings. Then the next statement is a statement of financial position, which outline where the assets are held, and I know this will be later on taken in details by the fund managers. But during the year, we had total planned investments of 233.7 billion shillings. And we also had other assets adding up to 10 billion shillings. And that brings us to the total assets, net assets available for benefits at 242 0.7 billion shillings, and that is represented by the member funds of 224.7 billion shillings, reserve of 108.8 million shillings, and revaluation reserves of 17.9 billion shillings, all summing up to 242.7 billion shillings. The other statement that I just highlight is the statement of cash flows, which shows the movement of cash during the year, and we close the year with a cash and cash equivalent of 2 billion shillings for that period. And members, we also have the notes which you can go through that support the numbers that we have shared with you, and that is the highlights of the financial statements that were audited in the year that ended 30th June 2025. Thank you. And then from there we can have the auditor read the opinion. Thank you.
The chairperson of the Board of Trustees, members of the board, CEO, members present physically and virtually, other distinguished stakeholders, good afternoon. My name is Samuel Mushiri. I'm representing the Office of the Auditor General, and I will read the report. Now, the report is in three parts. We have the report on the financial statements. We have the report on lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of public resources. And we also have the report on effectiveness of internal controls, risk management, and governance. And this report is found on page 44, Roman numbers, of the booklets that you have. So I now present the audit report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Public Service Superannuation Fund for the year ended 30th June 2025, which was signed by the Auditor General on 29th September 2025, and where a clean opinion was given for the report on the financial statements. Yes, you can clap. Now, I'll read the report on the financial statements as the first report. I have audited the accompanying financial statements of Public Service Superannuation Fund set out on pages 1 to 35, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 30th June 2025, the statement of changes in net assets available for benefits, statement of cash flows, statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts for the year then ended, and a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory information in accordance with provisions of Article 229 of the Constitution of Kenya and Section 35 of the Public Audit Act 2015. I have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of my knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of the audit. So here is the opinion. In my opinion, the financial statements present fairly, in all material respects, the financial position of Public Service Superannuation Fund as at 30th June 2025, and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, accrual basis, and comply with the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Act 2012. So that is the report on the financial statements, basically just saying it is a clean report. Now allow me to move to the next report, that is a report on lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of public resources. Here the Auditor General doesn't form an opinion, she arrives at a conclusion. Therefore, here is the conclusion. I will read. As required by Article 2296 of the Constitution, based on the audit procedures performed except for the effect of the matters described in the basis for conclusion on lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of public resources section of my report, I confirm that nothing else has come to my attention to cause me to believe that public resources have not been applied lawfully in an ineffective way. So here, you heard me say, except for the effect of the matters described in the basis for conclusion. And therefore, I will read to you the basis for the conclusion, because we had a few issues that we picked here. Issue number 1 was unremitted pension employer contributions. I have heard the chair say now we are okay. National Treasury has been able to, as of now, send to the fund all due contributions. But as of 30th June 2025, this was the situation. So the statement of financial position, and as disclosed in Note 16 to the financial statements, reflects a balance of 10,606,767,006 shillings in respect of contributions receivable, which relates to unremitted employer and employee contributions to the fund as at 30th June 2025. Out of the outstanding amount, Kenya shillings 9,385,345,050 shillings had been received by the end of August 2025, and therefore there was a balance as of August of 1,221,421,956 as unremitted. This is when we were carrying out the audit, so we still had a balance of 1.2 billion that was not remitted. This is contrary to Section 8C of the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Act 2012, which states that not later than 10 working days after the end of the month in which the contributions are due, the government shall remit an amount comprising the members and the government's contribution to the custodian, unless the outstanding balance is paid together with the penalty, which is also provided in the Act under Section 6(2). Then contributors may stand to lose returns that would have been earned had the contributions been received in time. So we had an issue with unremitted pensions, and therefore we concluded by saying, in the circumstances, management or National Treasury in this case was in breach of the law. Issue number 2 was on non-compliance with the law on affirmative action. Allow me to read. Review of the fund's staff establishment revealed that out of 62 employees, none of them was a person living with disability, which is contrary to Section 13 of the Persons and Disabilities Act 2003, which requires a reservation of about or at least 5% of employees for persons with disabilities. Again, we concluded that management was in breach of the law. Number 3 is on board meetings exceeding the required number. Again, during the year under review, the board and its finance and investment and strategy committee held 11 and 7 meetings consecutively, or respectively, contrary to circular that of 11 March 2020, which restricts board meetings to a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 6 for each financial year. So again, we said management did not provide evidence for approval because it's required. Where there is need to have extra meetings, then you need to seek approval from the cabinet secretary, which again were not available, were not provided, or was not provided. So again, in the circumstances, we concluded that management was in breach of the law. Issue number 4 under this category was on failure to adhere to the gender rule on appointments. I think This one is again also touching on the board. I think we can only see there is only one lady up here. So again, we picked that as an issue. Review of the composition of the fund's board of trustees revealed that during the year under review, the fund had 9 board of trustees members, out of whom 7 were of the same gender, contrary to requirements of Article 27(8) of the Constitution of Kenya on equality and freedom from discrimination, which provides that not more than 2/3 of members of elective or appointive bodies shall be of the same gender. Again, conclusion here was management, or maybe the appointing authority, was in breach of the law. So that was the report on lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of public resources. The last report is on, again, a report on effectiveness of internal controls, risk management, and governance, again, where the Auditor General arrives at a conclusion. So here is a conclusion. As required by Section 7(1)(a) of the Public Audit Act 2015, and based on the audit procedures performed, except for the effects of the matter described in the basis for conclusion on the effectiveness of internal controls, risk management, and governance section of my report, I confirm that nothing else has come to my attention to cause me to believe internal controls, risk management, and governance were not effective. Again, here we had one reservation. Therefore, we had a basis for conclusion. So allow me to read it. Inadequate controls on members' funds. The statement of financial position reflects members' fund balance of 224,735,988,305. However, the following anomalies were noted. Number 1, Section 35 of the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Act 2012 requires the fund administrator to register members. However, review of the fund's administration systems revealed that the following critical information was missing. Number 1, fund pension status. Number 2, contribution amount. Number 3, date of normal retirement. Number 4, other personal data including contacts, class, workstation, designation, next of kin, and employment history. Then number 2, review of member balances provided for audit revealed that 16,701 members had no gender status, 194 were above 60 years old but were still active members, 13 had no sponsors, and 1 had no personal numbers or personal number. Again, these were just weaknesses we picked from the fund administrator's system. I'm sure these are things that can be improved so that the next time we are auditing, then these are not the issues that will come up. So in the circumstances, the existence of ineffective controls on members' details and data could not be confirmed. So that is the end of the Auditor General's report. Signed, Auditor General Nancy Gathungu, CPA, 29th September 2025. Once again, we thank management for the cooperation they accorded to the auditors during the audit process. I thank you all for their attention. Thank
you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Financial statements have been presented by our administrator and confirmed by the auditor. We are now going to move to the next agenda, which will split into 3 categories. I know in the house we have our custodians. Do we have the custodians around here? I really want to appreciate the custodians present. We also have our fund manager who was doing fund management during the financial year. So I want to invite the fund manager. And for the custodians, because we are more than one of you will just give a confirmation to the members on how the numbers were. So if you can allow, maybe you can start with the custodians and then the fund manager can come over. Fund manager, custodians, we had 3 of them. Your colleagues can also come and stand here so that you will be speaking on behalf of them and they can say everything is okay. Please, we had 3 custodians. So those who were there during that financial year, that ended 30th June. Yeah, NCBA, CoBank. Yeah, I think those are the 2 represented here today, Chairman. Okay. Yes.
Good afternoon. Chairman, the Board of Trustees, the CEO, PSSF, the entire Board of Trustees for PSSF, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow service providers, good afternoon. My name is Gaston Mokuno. I'm a custodian and I'm representing the Cooperative Bank of Kenya. But before I start the presentation, I can request my fellow custodian to also say hi and introduce herself.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Eva Mwangi from NCBA Bank. Thank you.
So thank you. And in the interest of time, the mandate that we've been given has been very limited. We are just to confirm the numbers. So I will not go through all what we do on a day-to-day basis with the understanding that this presentation will be shared with the members. So we will just go to the last slide of that presentation. Yes, that page where we have the numbers. Distinguished members, this is to confirm that as for the financial year that ended 30th June 2025, the fund closed the year with an asset position of 235 billion that is shown on your screens. And as you can see, that asset class or that portfolio was split or was divided in the various asset classes. Starting with cash, we had a cash allocation of 2 billion, and that was a percentage of 0.86% of the portfolio. For equities, we had an allocation of 16.7 billion, and that was 7% of this portfolio. For treasury bills, we had 9.7 billion, and that translated to 4% of the portfolio. Treasury bonds, we had an allocation of 188 billion, which was 79% of the portfolio. That is to say the largest proportion of our fund is invested in the government paper. We also had exposure in Eurobonds, whereby we had an allocation of 4.3 billion. For private equity, and in line with the presentation we've been having in this forum, we had an exposure of 5.4 billion. Then we had offshore investment for the fund at 7 billion. And the last item is the investment in properties, which is the Batian Fund. We had an exposure of 2 billion. So members, as you can see on the right-hand side of that table, is to confirm that the fund was compliant as far as the RBA limits are concerned. And we continue to hold these assets on your behalf and on behalf of the members on behalf of the trustees. With that, I wish to thank you and give the meeting back to the CEO. Thank you.
The sponsor, National Treasury, Chair, Board of Trustees, CEO, Secretariat, esteemed members of the fund, fellow service providers, and riding on all protocols declared, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. My name is Patrick Kariuki. I'm the Managing Director of Gen Africa Asset Managers, and accompanying me is our Senior Investment Manager, Mohammed Khalid, who manages the account on a day-to-day basis. Just like to briefly mention what is our role as fund managers. Our role as fund managers is, one, to understand the scheme properly. And after that is to research on all available investment opportunities and then invest on the most optimal ones under the stewardship of your Board of Trustees and report back to them and also to you members at the annual general meeting. Your fund in the year ended 30th June 2025 performed very well with an impressive 31% investment return. That is 31 shillings added to every 100 you have in investment performance terms. This was done under the wise stewardship of your Board of Trustees, which together with contributions received have really increased your scheme assets from 142 billion last year investment assets to over 242 billion. So with that, I'll hand over to my Senior Investment Manager, Mohamed Khalid, to take you through the finer details. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. I'll stand on the already observed protocols. I'm Mohamed Abdi. I'm a Senior Investment Manager with Gen Africa. And I will very briefly walk through the report in terms of who we are. Gen Africa is an investment management company, close to 30 years old. I will be celebrating 30 years next year. We're operating in the region, headquartered in Nairobi. We are pleased to be associated with PSSF. And at the end of last year, we were managing, at the end of September, we were managing close to 800 billion in terms of assets under management. Our core business is investment management, so we are not affiliated to any other institution, either bank or insurance company. So we give you 110% focus in terms of delivering the core mandate of Board of the Trustees. We operate in a highly regulated industry, as you can see there, RBA, Kenya, Uganda, CMA, Kenya, Uganda as well. Very briefly, in terms of the next slide, the pension management structure, very, very simply, we've had the custodians here. They basically will keep the assets on your behalf and on the behalf of the trustees. So we don't hold the assets on our balance sheet. Our core mandate is really a delegated responsibility from the Board of Trustees, which is the investment part. And then ultimately the administration is done by the administrator, which ultimately is just to keep records for you members. The next slide, I will skip the role. I think that has already been discussed. And very briefly, in terms of the economic environment where we were operating in terms of the economy, last year we noted a bit of a slowdown in terms of the economy at 4.7% compared to 5.6% in the previous year. But as we turn into this year, we've seen very, very strong recovery coming through, and we expect growth to come in at around 5%. In terms of the currency, which is the next slide, largely very stable for the better part of the last 12 months. And you can see that table there basically showing you pretty much a flat performance on mainly the dollar to the shilling. And this is a testament to really how policy has been managed by government. On one end, we are sitting on very, very high forex reserves, which continue to support the external environment. And we've also had some concessional debt flows that have come through, in addition to very good tourism earnings and export earnings over that particular period. In terms of inflation, which is very, very important, members, in the context of your accumulated benefits, because ultimately you need to track inflation and deliver returns above inflation to be able to maintain the purchasing power of your benefits. And as you can see, inflation has remained largely low. If you to compare 2023 coming in at around 7.7% and 4.5% in 2024. If you look at 2025, that has been that trend has continued, and generally our inflation average this year is likely to be at around 4-5%. Interest rates, again, as you can see in the graph there, has come down year on year, which again is as a result of the monetary policy environment which CBK has employed, which is largely to reduce interest rates and to try and improve the private sector credit, and ultimately that's one of the reasons we expect slightly better economic numbers in terms of growth this year. On the next slide, we are looking at the local and offshore equities or markets. we had a very good run. In fact, one of the reasons the return for the portfolio was relatively strong is the earnings have come from the local equity market. And you can see there 34% for 2024 and around 24% for the first half of 2025. That has continued to remain the case in the second half of this year, and we expect that to hold in terms of performance, which is again an area that the fund is exposed to, and ultimately will see the value of your fund being better by diversifying into this particular segment. The investment report, this has already been highlighted by the custodian. I'll not really go through too much detail here. But what you will note year on year is the diversification which has been employed. You can see 2024, we didn't have offshore equities. That has come through private equity as well as real estate. And I will want to, of course, credit also the Board of Trustees for their stewardship in terms of maintaining a very strong view around diversifying the fund. So if you look at the fund today, you'll see much more diversification further into other asset classes, and ultimately that's really the way to go to try and ensure that the funds are well diversified into the long term. The performance of the fund, I think the chair has already mentioned, which will be the next slide. You will see that remarkable growth between 2022, 2023 and 2024. Largely averaging out at around 17%, which is more driven by what has happened in the stock market as well as what has happened in terms of the interest rate environment last year. The next slide talks around the fund growth. And if you look at the fund growth, starting off from about 43 billion December 2022, you will see that very, very strong growth coming to 78 billion 2023, 140 billion 2024, and now closing in at around 234. As we are trading today, that number is much higher than those levels. If you look at the accumulated net contributions by you members, that represents about 75% of that 234 million, and about 25% of that current fund value is represented by investment returns. So you will see that investment returns have actually also really delivered very strong growth in terms of your assets under management. As I close, the fund value. As I close the outlook, I think we've already talked about what we expect in terms of GDP. Inflation largely remaining moderate, interest rates likely to remain low to stable, exchange rate expected to remain largely stable, and the stock market has remained quite buoyant in terms of performance, and we expect that to continue up to the end of this year. Offshore markets have also bounced back, notwithstanding a bit of a challenge at the beginning of this year. So we are all looking forward to very decent returns as we probably meet, inshallah, sometime next year. And we will be expecting that performance to maintain at strong double-digit levels for the next 12 months. Thank you very much. I will probably take it back to you, Bonasio. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just one small clarity. The appointment of Board of Trustees is not in our hands, but with the parent organization. If the police sends me a lady, we receive her as a trustee. If Teachers Service Commission sends us as a man, we have been trying to advise. So, Bona Auditor, that's out of our control. I will ask Trustee Anyur to deal with agenda number 6. That is presentation of report on remuneration of trustees. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. My duty is fairly simple, is to read for you agenda number 6. Agenda number 6 is on the report on remuneration of trustees. The trustees are paid sitting allowance, and other remuneration for expenses at the rates approved by the Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury and Economic Planning. This is in line with Section 18 of the PSSS Act. The sitting allowance payable currently is at the rate of 28,000 per meeting before tax. The trustees' remuneration paid in the year 24-25 has been disclosed in the annual report and financial statements as prescribed in the retirement benefits guidelines of 2018. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I think before we proceed, before the next agenda, that is question and answers, which you have to ask the questions kindly, we want to adopt the report by our service providers, both the custodians and the fund managers. Can we have somebody to help us adopt? A hand, please. We want to adopt those reports before we continue. We want a proposer, please. You have heard the reports, you have seen the report. Can somebody propose that we adopt them first, then we move forward? That's a procedure.
She is the vice chairperson of PSSF and an expert public service.
Who is proposing? The lady, please state your name and confirm that you are a member of PSSS.
Good afternoon. I'm Frasia Kabata, a representative from the State Department for Roads. I'm also a member of the PSSF, and I would like to propose the adoption of the audit report of audited financial statement.
Thank you very much. That's very correct. Seconder? Okay.
My name is Zakaria Molobi from Bungoma County Executive. I confirm that I'm a member of PSSF. I second. Thank you.
Thank you. So the report has been adopted. We now go to agenda number 7. Questions from members. Anybody? Okay, there are two ways of doing these things. You can ask the questions now or write to us. We will answer you. Anybody who wants to ask a question now in this room? Thank you. I don't seem to be receiving any questions. Where? There's one. Please. Yeah. That gentleman or lady at the back, I can't see you properly. Mpe microphone. Yule, nyuma yako huko.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Lucina Graphite Takong, Mwana of Margaret. I am here from Teacher Service Commission. I came in quite a bit late, but I've interacted with this conference before, and my question goes to the people, the colleagues who served under the defunct pension scheme, and then now they are under PSSF. When they finally call it a day at the age 60, where do they seek for their benefits? Because the last time we had a conversation, it was that the PSF is going to take care to the members from 2021. And the question is, comrades in service, some of them have served from the year 2015 and so many years back, and they are just retiring. Where do they go for their benefits? Are they consolidated or are they separate claims?
Thank you very much. That's a very important question. Please, I'll take some few more questions. Okay, here in the middle.
Thank you so much. Ms. Leona Doronje from Kupet, Kenya. We have just been told that there's a declaration of 17% as dividends in the year ending 30th of June.
Please confirm if you are a member and which ministry do you come from?
I come from TSC.
TSC, you are a member?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Carl.
So there's a declaration of 17% on the members' contributions, and it has been said that this will be wired to their accounts. Can they access this 17%, or if not, how will it benefit them? How is it computed so that is it being plowed back to their initial amount, or they can access, because there's some missing information about that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a very good question. Another one? We want about 4 or 5 questions before. Okay, there in the middle.
Yes, thank you. Allow me to ride on the already established protocol. I'm Ojuang Patrick from TSC. My question is on the investment part, because these monies that we contribute, I'm told that they're invested in treasury bills and treasury bonds, and I'm told again that this year you've started building, or rather investing in properties. I don't have the knowledge on the returns. And again, do we have any other areas that this money is going to be invested? Because around 242 billion that has been contributed for this particular year, I believe it is well invested, then we can get proper returns. So allow me to ask on the future plans that's going to allow this money to either double, or the better way that you are looking forward to ensure that we have a better investment of this fund. Thank you.
Very good question. Any other question, please? Okay, this side. Somebody there?
Yeah, all protocols observed. I'm Munyi Rajab, member of TSC. My question goes to the board. Probably kuna mali tulikosea. The question goes, the previous group of teachers or public employees used to get their pension benefits, now kwa hawakatwi. The question is, tumeleta PSSF, and those group walikuwa wakati walikuwa wanapata pesa yao. Hii pesa ilikuwa wanapata ilikuwa kutoka wapi? First question. Na ya pili, why are we contributing and we are serving the same government? Ikiwa wale walikuwa wanapata na walikuwa contribute in the old scheme, mbona saizi? Thank you.
Good question. Okay. Aya, nani mwingine wa mwisho? Aya.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Maloba, a member of TSC. I'm asking a question on gender. I'm already biased. So once the names are forwarded to you, Bwana Chair, is it not in order you return it back to sender until the gender threshold is achieved? Can we return those names back until we meet the gender threshold as per the Kenyan Constitution? Kindly. Or we go to court the way the Kenyan government understands.
Okay, last question before we respond to this set of questions.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. I am Hassan from TSC. One, we received the invitation very late on a short notice, and I have traveled all the way from Macnon, a place called Kilibasi. I was told there will be a fair reimbursement. Can you kindly, Chairman, talk of it?
We'll answer those questions. I will ask the CEO to respond to them, and maybe we can also chip in. CEO.
Thank you very much, Chairman. We have received more than the questions that has just been mentioned. Hello? We have received some other written questions that Anwar will be answering, and we can also answer the one that has been brought to the floor. The first question was about accrued benefits, benefits that had been accumulated before the commencement of PSSF. I've forgotten the name of the gentleman who was asking, but he's wondering, when these people retire, will they come to PSSF and everything has been put together? I think the key thing to mention is that we are responsible for your benefits from 2021 going forward. The original one, you will still have to go to the National Treasury BIMA for the old scheme. The second question was from Leonard Orenjo regarding 17 point something interest that has been declared on whether you can access them. We are running a retirement benefit scheme, so you cannot access the benefits because it's meant for your retirement, but it will be put in your account waiting for that time. Ochuang Patrick from the Teacher Service Commission, Mwalimu, wanted to understand the investment structure. It keeps on changing every year. We could be too much exposed on government securities, but we keep on changing as opportunities arise. And exactly what was presented by the auditor and the investment managers are actually the areas that we are focusing on. And it can never remain static because with investment opportunities change. Rachap of TSC, let me go to the gender question. I think that one I should have left it to Chairman. I will leave that to you. Then the issue of why are you contributing and you use not to contribute? I think I'm paraphrasing, isn't it? So the idea here is that when you contribute, it creates certainty, it is your money, and you don't wait for anybody else to pay for you. The previous one, you are relying on government budgetary provision. And that's why we have this story where somebody retires and waits for maybe even 5 years because there is no budget from government. But this one that you funded while you're in employment is guaranteed that is your money. Tumelewana? So it's the best practice to finance your retirement while you're in service. I will ask Anwar to pick maybe 2 or 3 questions of the ones that has been written and can be responded. And the rest of them we can still post through our online channels because we are live on TV within a very limited time. So I'll ask Anwar to just pick some sample of that, and the others will still be responding. As Chairman will take the gender question because the lady who asked said she can easily go to court, so I don't want to expose myself.
Thank you, CEO. There are a couple of questions that have been written. Number one is that can I contribute more than 7.5% and will my employer match any additional contribution? So the answer is yes. As a member, you are allowed to contribute additional contributions up to what you want to contribute. So you are not restricted to contribute only 7.5%. So if you want to do additional contribution, you just write to the employer and the scheme, then that additional contribution will be deducted. However, the employer will not match it. The employer will not contribute for you an additional contribution other than the 15% that the employer is currently contributing. The other question is, what is the time frame for receiving benefits after leaving service? As a board of trustees, we have undertaken to pay you your benefits within 30 days. And we are ready and willing, and everything has been put in place to ensure that within 30 days from the date you retire, you get your money. And that is what the CEO has been saying, because this is your money that you have contributed, and the employer has also contributed for you. This money is ready and is waiting for you to retire. So when you retire, within 30 days, you will have your money in your pocket. The other question is, how do I access my statement of contributions? If I want to know where I am now, how much have I contributed, how much has the employer contributed, and what is the return on investment, you are required to check that through USSD code *378#. *378#. Or you can log into our website through members.psss.or.ke. members.psss, there are 3 S's, .or.ke. You will be able to access your statement and know what you have in your account even as we speak. Is there a formula used to determine my benefits? Yes, there's a formula. It is a very simple formula. It is what you contribute plus what the employer contributes for you plus the investment returns. That is the total amount you will be given at the end of your service. I think those are the questions that were written, and I think you have got very accurate answers. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lady from, is it CUPET or Union of Kenya Civil Servants, Teachers, CUPET, a teacher. When I say it was beyond our control, it was like this. Every organization, if it's, maybe I didn't do it properly. Here, we have trustees. Bwana Weeks. Weeks represent CUPET. It's CUPET that sent us to him, to us. He sent him to us. Okay? So if we bring somebody else other than what CUPET wanted, will it work? 1. Number 2, we have Bwana Ochel, representing Principal Secretary, Ministry of Public Service. When they were sending, nobody knew that me, I'm sending a lady, me, I'm sending, they just sent the most competent. Number 3, I'm coming. Number 3, we have Dr. Kiprono representing Public Service Commission. Then our lady, the Vice Chair, represents Kenya National Unions of Civil Servants Union. At least, you see, they sent us a lady. Then TSC sent a very able wakili, Bwana Kevin Anyur. Then we have NAT. They sent us Trustee Mumo. You see, it's not in our hands. But recently, For your information, one of the trustees, the officer or the person that was sent to us as a trustee was transferred to another department. And the appointing authority from that organization, that is a lady, they sent us a man. I wrote a letter, I said, already we have a problem with gender. We cannot accept this. This trustee has to serve the term. And they accepted. It's not that we are not trying. We are also trying to find every legal or avenues to so that we balance. And these are all representing organization. I am the only independent trustee to represent you guys. Okay? So 2 out of 8 at least is supposed to be 2.5%, whatever that is. I rest my case. Now, because of time, we have a chief guest amongst us. This is the principal secretary in the office of the deputy president. He is in charge of State Department of Cabinet Affairs. Would you kindly allow him to give us his remarks? He is our chief guest today. The CS came yesterday, would have been our chief guest, but he was there with us yesterday, answering the critical questions from us. So, tafadhali, put your hands together. We welcome our chief guest, Dr. Idris Salim Dokota. You can give your remarks, and then we go to the next agenda. Thank you.
Chair, Board of Trustees, Board of Trustees, members, all protocols observed. Good evening. I'm glad to be here again. I've been here in the morning, and I've decided to join you in the AGM. Actually, what I've seen is that this is a very I've seen a transparent process here. I've seen the reports from the Auditor General. There are some areas of concern, but generally the view, the opinion is not bad. It is an opinion that can work well upon working on a few recommendations. I want to use this opportunity to thank the leadership for what they have done. This is very good. You know, at times, the reason why many pension funds have collapsed is because of the lack of transparency in the management of funds. And the way PSSF has started this, that transparency is now coming in, and we have seen proper management of funds. I've gone through the report. I've seen a figure of asset growth from 142 to 242 billion. That's quite remarkable. It's a great achievement. That is 70% growth. Can you clap for the leadership? At the same time, coming to the AGM, this was an opportunity for members to interact with the funds, with the reports, and share their views, their concerns, their output, so that their input, so that we can have a progressive fund going forward. And I've gone through, I've seen that within 30 days of retirement, that you are being paid the funds, Chairman and the Board of Trustees, this is very good. And I've also heard their concern, their also reports saying that maybe it can be reduced to 2 weeks. But we are yet to see that happen. So hopefully that's a good sign of, that's a positive sign. So we hope and believe that the leadership will drive the agenda of this fund to a space that we would like to see. As government, we are committed, and that's why the National Treasury, with the direction of His Excellency the President, has actually given serious attention to pension funds in this country. There has been a problem of backlog of funds being released to retirees. The President gave very clear instructions on how these funds should be paid and how these funds should be paid in due time. So I want to thank you members as well for coming in good number and participate in this. It's you to give the direction on how your funds should be utilized. You have been taken through the reports here by various stakeholders of your funds. So we will actually need you to actually make a contribution on how, going forward, you want these funds to be utilized and the direction that the management of this fund should take. So up to this juncture, I think I'll put it to a close. Mine is to once more congratulate the team seated here, plus members, and to continue with this good work. With these very many remarks, I want to say thank you and have a blessed evening.
Please give him another round of applause. I broke with the protocol a little to invite our chief guest because he was in a hurry, but we have one very important visitor representing the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Public Service. Bwana Mumo, Wambua, sorry. Wambua come and give remarks on behalf of the PS who was to be with us, but something urgent happened, so we allow her. The chief guest, we wanted to give him also some airtime. Sasa kuja, alafu tujue.
Thank you very much, Chair, Ambassador. Good afternoon. Allow me to read the speech by my PS, but just before I do that, I make my introduction. I'm Stephen Wambua, CHRP. I'm the Secretary in the Secretary Human Resource Development in the State Department for Public Service. I want to read the speech as is. Speech by Dr. Jane Kere Ibunya, PhD, Principal Secretary, Public Service and Human Capital Development. During the Public Service Superannuation Fund 4th Annual General Meeting held at Diamonds Leisure Beach and Golf Resort, Diani on 28 November 2025. The speech begins with a quote: "A nation's greatness is measured by how well it caters for its people, especially those who have served it." This according to Nelson Mandela. Distinguished guests, members of the Board of Trustees, the Chief Executive Officer and Secretariat, employers, members of the fund and partners, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am honored to join you on this 4th Annual General Meeting of the Public Service Superannuation Fund. Thank you. Superannuation Fund, an important platform to reflect accountability and collective resolve in safeguarding the retirement security of our public servants. On behalf of the Government of Kenya, I wish to appreciate the Board of Management, all the partners and their unwavering dedication to strengthening this institution. Ladies and gentlemen, I commend PSSF for its exemplary performance in the year under review. The remarkable growth of the fund from 142 billion Kenya shillings to 242 billion Kenya shillings reflects prudent stewardship, disciplined investment, and enhanced member confidence. This is the caliber of performance that reinforces trust in ongoing public sector reforms. Ladies and gentlemen, equally commendable are the strides made in digital transformation. The deployment of modern ICT platforms, improved online access, and streamlined member service signal are future ready pension administration system efficient, transparent, and responsive to the needs of our workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, pensions are not merely financial instruments. They are a critical pillar of social protection. They guarantee dignity in retirement, reduce dependency, and contribute meaningfully to national savings and capital formation. Globally, pension funds play a transformative role in infrastructure, housing, energy, and industrial development. Kenya is in the midst of significant development momentum, and PSSF is well positioned to participate prudently and strategically in this space. Investing more in shilling-dominated national projects strengthens our currency, protects the economy from external shocks, and enhances long-term stable returns for members. I therefore encourage PSSF and the broader pension sector to take a more prominent role in shaping Kenya's development trajectory responsibly and confidently. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Kenya remains fully committed to ensuring that every public servant retires with dignity. We will continue to provide policy stability, strengthen the regulatory environment, ensure predictable government contribution, and reinforce systems and protect members' lifelong savings. Retirement must be a transition to peace, not uncertainty. As we look ahead, I urge all stakeholders to stay steadfast in their roles. To the trustees, uphold independence, accountability, and prudence. To the management, enhance operational efficiency and transparency. To the employers, remit contributions accurately and on time. To the members, stay engaged and informed. Together, we will continue to build a pension system that is sustainable, trustworthy, and aligned to Kenya's development ambition. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
And Bwana CEO, there is a gift of appreciation as well.
Thank you very much, the representative of the Principal Secretary. We appreciate the chief guest who has just left. As we go towards the close of this meeting, allow me to appreciate some three people who are here. Chairman, normally when we are doing our annual general meeting, we have a culture as pension administrators to invite our own administrators from the other side so that we can learn from each other. And today we are joined here by Mr. Peter Rotich. Please stand up so that we can acknowledge you. Peter Rotich is the Trust Secretary and CEO of the Post Pension Scheme. We appreciate joining us. We also have Bernard Kibet, who is the Trust Secretary of Kenya Ports Authority Pension Scheme. We appreciate your coming. Do we have any other administrator here? I'd also want to invite the team from CPF. I don't know, George Okioma is here. And all of you, I can see the lady of accounts. I just want all of you to come forward here so that we can appreciate you in a special way. George, I don't know that George he was running late. Oh, sorry. George Okioma. Members, you will note that since the inception of this scheme, this wonderful team of CBF has been administering our pension scheme. And we are at a transition. And being professionals that they have agreed that we'll have a very seamless transition, which you have already started under the leadership of George Okioma. So George, on behalf of the team, you can just, since you have come forward, you can come here to confirm how we have been working for just 30 seconds. And then we appreciate you, Coco, and is it Lydia or? Sibora, sorry.
Chairman and trustees and all invited guests, thank you so much, CEO. Yes, I would want to confirm that as CPF, we are very grateful for the opportunity the trustees you gave us to birth the scheme. We started from 0 membership up to now where the scheme has grown. And all this has been possible with the support of the Board of Trustees and the Secretariat led by the CEO. So we thank you and we want to commit again that we are ready to handhold you even as you transition into in-house administration. Our team is always ready to support and make sure that the scheme lives to the promise that has been said. Thank you and God bless.
I don't know whether there is any other service provider that we may have left out. Anybody from Samara? Oh yes, please, I want to appreciate you. Please stand. And I keep forgetting your name. Okay? Beryl. So we appreciate Beryl. We work with Samara Consulting Firm as our investment advisors, and they're supporting us in reviewing our investment policy. We appreciate your presence. Any other service provider that we may have left out? I know we have Square Meter. They've been doing, I don't know that they're here. Yes, David Lewicki from Square Meter. Let's give him a round of applause. They are consulting and supporting us on matters of property, so we appreciate. Those are the service providers that were with us in the previous year. With all that, Chairman, I think it is my humble duty to hand it over back to you and congratulate the members for coming to attend the AGM. This is the first time that we are doing AGM outside Nairobi, and County of Kwale became the first one to do an outside AGM. And I want to say that the attendance, the conversation has exceeded our expectation. I don't know that I should convince the board that we do it again next year here. It looks like, Chairman, we may have to go and look whether we can come back to Kwale. You are very hospitable. It's a very exciting place. And we are happy to be here so long as tusiongee Kiswahili nyingi kwa sababu tutashindwa. Ubarikiwe sana. God bless you as I invite the Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, Trustee Agnes Mwenda, to take it over from there. God bless.
Thank you very much. My name is Agnes Mwenda, as you've heard. I represent Union of Kenya Civil Servants. Mine is very short to appreciate each one of us for attending this auspicious occasion. The chief guest in absentia, Principal Secretary from the Office of Cabinet Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office of the Deputy President, the Retirement Benefits Authority representative, the Board of Trustees, CEO and management, all employers, and our esteemed members who are joining in person and who are joining online. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the entire Public Service Superannuation Fund fraternity, allow me to extend our sincere appreciation to God who has enabled us to reach this far. The Bible says, "Men are the plans of man, but it's God who brings them to be fulfilled." So we appreciate God because this is His making. People have traveled far and wide. For us to have you in this hall, it has taken the hand of the Lord. For us to appreciate the victory that we can see at the end of the meeting, it has taken the grace of the Lord. So we say thank you to our esteemed members joining physically and those online. Thank you very much. First and foremost, to our distinguished guests from government institutions, regulatory bodies, employees across public service, and the partner organizations. Thank you for your continued collaboration, governance support, and shared commitment to build a strong and sustainable pension system. To our members, those present here and those following online, Thank you for your trust. Your confidence in this fund is a foundation which you have continued to build and to grow. To our board of trustees, led by our able chairman, Ambassador Hussein Danto, thank you very much for your steady leadership and strategic oversight that guides Public Service Superannuation Fund forward. Your clarity of purpose and commitment to governance continue to strengthen the institution's ability of the fund. To the CEO and the entire Public Service Superannuation Fund Secretariat, thank you very much for your dedication, professionalism, and high standards of service you consistently uphold. The results we celebrate today are a reflection of your handwork. To all the service providers, once again, thank you very much for your efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery. Without you, we could not have come this far as a fund. Today, members are enjoying a high interest percentage of 17% because of the work well done. Again, thank you very much. Finally, to everyone who worked behind the scenes, thank you for your seamless organization and support. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say that we have reached this far because of your presence here. We've had a deliberate and discussion together. We understand where the scheme has come from, where we are today, and the vision of where these ladies and gentlemen want to take this scheme. Together, we appreciate the sponsor for planning on how members of the public, after you have given it all in service as you deliver services, the government, who is the sponsor, has planned to ensure that upon retirement, you continue living in dignity, you continue taking care of yourself, and again, you continue earning the respect that the public has for you as you work today. Even at retirement, you continue with the same respect. So thank you very much. Allow me to say that I may not recognize each one of us by name, but from the board of Public Service Superannuation Fund, we appreciate you, we value you, and we say thank you for the support you have given for this occasion to be as successful. May the Lord bless us all as a scheme. May the Lord bless Kenya. May the Lord continue to pave the way to grow and increase this scheme. God bless you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the chairman once again to disperse us with grace and to declare this meeting closed. Thank you, Chair.
Maybe I wasn't going to close the meeting. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. By the way, just for your information, for 3 days we had the inaugural Pan-African Pensions Conference, and we brought the best from all over Africa and the best from within, and we learned a lot. We want your scheme to be one of the best, and we really received a lot of accolades on your behalf. That's only for your information. For those of you who are in the scheme, believe you me, count yourself lucky. Some of us retired at the age of 45 some years back. We depended on what the government decided for us. It doesn't grow, it stayed stagnant. You are paying 7.5%, your employer gives 15%, the money is traded with, you get interest, you are much better off. I wish I lived during your time lived and worked during your time as a public servant. There are a group of people who really helped us. You know, this hall, we used it for the conference and we didn't pay a shilling more because of our sponsors. These are very special people. I want to thank them the last. We had several sponsors for our conference, and they really stood with us up to the end. Most of them have booths outside as you go out. We really thank them. And we had one of the most eloquent and outstanding MC. Where is he for our conference? If we didn't appreciate you, it's because we are saving the best for the last. Please clap for this man. Thank you. And he was the fairest, because if you finish your time, there's a bell ringing. I don't know where he does it from. And all of a sudden, you know you have outlived your time. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. And we are happy that we are associating with a very bright Kenyan. Thank you very much. Finally, mine is very simple now. First of all, to thank you for availing your time to be with us. There are those who also helped us organize the conference event and this particular meeting. Thank you very much, our event organizers. We wouldn't have done without you. So, ladies and gentlemen, what did I tell you? I wish I was working during your time to join this. If today they open a little gate, I will be among the first to rejoin this scheme, because we were seen as the ones that have started something very special. Uganda have been with us for more than 5 days. They are now trying to copy from us to start. Zambia did the same. So people are already copying from us. And believe you me, the old pension, the government wouldn't have sustained, because people are living longer now. Those who retired 20 years ago are still there. Others are retiring. Others are adding. So if you add all of them together, the exchequer one day you will be told, exchequer, the pensions are delayed because there was no exchequer release. But you will not be depending on any government or any individual or any favors from anybody. It is your money that grows, that you will find it as you retire. Previously, some of us, we were filling 18 forms from the treasury. You will end up filling one form, and we hope our turnaround time now is 30 days. By the time you people start retiring, we want to reduce it to 1 week. We will even call you in advance to tell you your money is ready, come for it. So you are living in a very exciting time. These are not stories, these are realities. We have put up one of the best systems from our own Konza Technopolis. So your money is safe. And you are lucky. On that note, I declare this meeting or congregation, I'll bring it to an end. I close this meeting. Thank you very much. Can somebody pray for us? And this time, may I ask Mohammed to pray for us? Because all the time, our brothers who I'm reminded, there is our corporate secretary, Angela. Please tell us, where are the refreshments for our members? Please. And then Mohammed, come and pray. Si mumekubali sasa, wacha at least pia ya Mohammed musikie. We have been listening to Jesus, now let's listen also to Mohammed. That's being fair, and we are in Kwale County. So have we passed a resolution that we'll do the next meeting here? Not everybody is saying yes. Okay, announce on the refreshments, and then I bring the meeting to a close.
Our esteemed members and our guests, thank you very much for joining us. After this, please don't leave in a hurry. We have set up tea places just out here. Please be free to join us for refreshments. Thank you very much.
Haya. Sasa Bwana Mohamed kuja utuombe, tuende na baraka ya pia Mohamed. Asante sana, Mungu awabariki. May Allah bless you all.
Thank you very much. We can all stand. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين آمين آمين.
God is good all the time. All the time. God is good. You see now our captain will be our own.
PSSF marked a fundamental shift from the defined benefit scheme to a defined contributory scheme. This was more than a policy. PSSF marked a fundamental shift from the defined benefit scheme to a defined contributory scheme. This was more than a policy. PSSF operational fundamental shift from the defined benefit scheme fully operational on January scheme. This was more than a policy. PSSF operational fundamental shift from the defined benefit scheme fully operational on January scheme. This was more than a policy. PSSF operational fundamental shift from the defined.
It was not fair for the government employees to continue in the current status that they were in of a pay-as-you-go scheme. So in 2020, the stakeholders had agreed on bringing in the
Across Kenya, public servants dedicate their lives to building our nation. But who secures their future when the work is done? The Public Service Superannuation Fund, PSSF, was created to answer this question, a vision born from reform, driven by sustainability and powered by people. Established under the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Act, Cap 189A, PSSF marked a fundamental shift from the defined benefit scheme to a defined contributory scheme. This was more than a policy change. It was a strategic move to ensure long-term sustainability and inclusivity. From legislative ink to operational muscle, the PSSF became fully operational on January 1st, 2021.
As the Chief Executive of Time and Management Authority, one of my mandate was to develop a pension policy for the country. And I found that it was not fair for the government employees to continue in the current status that they were in of a pay-as-you-go scheme. So in 2020, the stakeholders had agreed on bringing in the board members because the way the structure of the scheme was, half of the trustees are from the sponsor, which is the government, and the other half comes from the stakeholders, which are basically the teachers there, the police, security organs. They're all in that scheme and other institutions which are of the government. And that's how PSSS came to be.
I was involved in consulting the government of Kenya about solving this problem, that as a country, since independence, civil servants have never had a funded pension scheme. Now, what happened is that the Kibaki government at that time made a decision to pass a legislation, the PSSF Act, of 2012 to now say, going forward, we are going to set up money outside the national budget that will then cater for civil servants when they get to retirement. As a country, we took that decision, set up, but to actualize and operationalize this act, that was done in 2021.
One of the issues was, first of all, there was no cash, there was no funds. And setting up the scheme, we had to push the government to put some seeding money, almost 600 million to set it up. And then we also had the issue about who are going to be transferred to the scheme. So we set up a limit of an age of 45 and below. People above 45 was voluntary. Another issue which was there is what rate were they going to contribute? Because the employees were saying, if you're going to deduct 7% from our salary, then you must increase our salary. That took very long for us to agree. Then we said, okay, we'll start with 2.5. But the government contribution, we put it at 15.
And in just 3 years, the fund has recorded exceptional growth to almost 500,000 active members and its assets soaring to 220 billion shillings by 2025. The membership consists of teachers, civil servants, National Police Service, Kenya Prison Service, and the National Youth Service.
And the key drivers of this is basically one is the level of contributions, 22.5%, membership, almost 500,000 members, investment return, and also the fact that very few people are leaving this fund, so the payout is much less.
Behind the numbers lies a story of operational rigor, innovation, and commitment to member first.
Without ICT support and technical digitization in any organization, there is no future. So as PSSF, we have taken this bold move to make sure that we move in line with the government policy of supporting digitization in our operations. So what we have done is to invest heavily on ICT and digital services so that members can be able to access their benefits, to get to know their status online. And we have invested all this infrastructure to support really the awareness and the service to our membership. Well, the key milestones that I can actually describe very easily is the structures that have been put in place.
At the heart of PSSF's strategy lies transparency and education.
We have a clear definition of who the members of our scheme can be drawn from. And we have a very solid members of the Board of Trustees and management who has gone a long way to make sure that all those who are supposed to be members have been recruited. At PSSF, we are adopting a strategy of what you can call an open book strategy. We declare interest publicly, and we also hold governance, or rather annual general meetings, where we call our members, get to know what is going on. We hold meetings with our Board of Trustees, so there are no surprises in PSSF if you are a member.
PSSF is not just a fund, it's a commitment to people, to their peace of mind, to their future.
Once the scheme now took off, one thing that I did as chairman, had a vision for this scheme. My vision were 3 pillars. The first pillar is accumulation of capital, because problem was people are retiring and then they're told there's no money, or the money is in buildings or somewhere. I said I must have cash so that when you retire today, the following day, your money is in your payslip. The structure we were going to set, we are going to get all the details about you so that when you retire, you don't have to come to us to start filling forms. The HR will send the details of your people retiring in the year, we process them, and they go to retirement and money start landing into the account without them coming to us. So, and then we need a cash. And we say, if we now set up a fund, like the accumulated cash, the I wanted to accumulate it, because the kind of contribution we're having in a month was 3 billion. There's a lot of money. And that's why I had a negotiation with the central bank. I told them, this kind of money should not just pass to any bank, even for 3 days. Members will lose. Let it go straight to central bank account within the same bank. And we were able to invest in bonds at that time at 13%. And within that period, I was there for 1 year. So we accumulated almost 40 billion.
For members, PSSF is not just a scheme. It's a promise fulfilled. It means dignity, support, and security in a life of service.
It is not just the funds collected. It is the funds collected and even the interest these funds have amassed. So teachers are able to know that the amounts or even their monies, both the contribution and the interest at the right time. So one doesn't have to even travel to go to the head office and to question. No, they do it at the comfort of their phones because teachers have been able to compare this scheme with the earlier scheme. To teachers, it is a very flexible kind of a pension scheme whereby they are assured of their contribution and the government's contribution anytime they exit, be it exit through death, be it exit through termination, be it exit through retirement. They are assured of their pension. It is God sent at the right time.
At PSSF, a good governance isn't optional. It's our lifeline. From county to county, thousands of members are learning how to register and update their personal details, update beneficiary records, claim benefits, check statements of their contributions and accrued interests.
As a member, I registered by dialing *378#. I followed through the prompts, registered and input my email address. And after that, I requested for a statement which was sent to my email, and I'm updated on my contribution, my employer contribution, and what the government is contributing, and the interest because it is well captured on the statement. There's a website where a member can register.
Still, this is a two-way street. PSSF provides a platform, but members must play their part.
It is important that when you are a member or when you are an employee, for God's sake, look at your pay slip, see where your money is going. And we as PSSF are going to ensure that we reach out to our members. Let them know that they are contributing 7.5% of their salary to this fund. We will do our bit. We will try and communicate. We will try and get in touch. We will try and put the information out there for them. But ultimately, you must also take individual responsibility to know where this money is going. Secondly, I have agreed with Jonah that over the next 6 months, we are going to set up regional offices. We are going to have regional offices within the administrative structure of the old provincial administration. Have an office in Nyeri, have an office in Mombasa, have an office in Kakamega, Kisumu, so that our members within those regions know that we have an office there they can access. So I want to urge all members, you must take individual responsibility. Don't wait until you are 45, 50, you're about to retire, now worrying about retirement. We are here. We'll give you all the information because this is your scheme, this is your fund, this is your money.
Member representation reflects the member-centric philosophy that established the pension scheme.
Within the Act, it is entrenched that when it comes to formation of the board, a part of the board members are representatives from the unions. So through that, bringing representation on board, it is a way of ensuring that member interests are captured in decisions that run the scheme. The interests of members are also captured when you're coming up with the policies. More so, when there are new initiatives in the management of the scheme, the same trickles down to the members through the same representation.
I visualize a service whereby we strengthen our partnership. We make sure that all our members, by at least in the next 3 years or so, at least every member understands what PSSF is, what their benefits are, and they're able to ask questions. And we're happy that at least since PSSF has invested in digital forums that our members are able to access this information, ask questions, and even access their benefits using the USSD code. It has impacted them a lot, and whenever we have these webinars, we share with our communication teams across all the services, and these NPS headquarters and members are able to access them from our website, not just from PSSF website.
Their rights, and beyond that, get to plan their retirement. And in planning your retirement, you need to understand how your fund or your account is growing over time, and then understand that the tax benefits that you enjoy from contributing to a pension scheme such as PSSF, you will be able to enjoy some tax, some amount which is not taxable, and therefore you are able to enjoy that and to save for your retirement. Beyond that, in the unlikely event that you exit this world by maybe form of death and so on, your people can also benefit. And in that context, as a member, you need to keep proper record and give us the records of who your nominees of dependents you may wish to nominate, so that we capture all your data, and therefore we will not have a struggle or need to pay in the unlikely event that you exit, or rather you die while in service or even in retirement. We can know who to pay your benefits. Otherwise, it will be good for all the members to be part of this big fund and enjoy the services that we are rendering.
The story of pensions in Kenya has changed forever, because the future of our public servants is finally in safe hands.